A convicted child sex trafficker who was released early from prison due to the largest drug lab testing scandal in U.S. history is back on the run. Here's Alexa Ashwell with Maryland's Most Wanted.
Rayvon Archibald was one of hundreds of convicts who got out of prison early thanks to Annie Dukin, the infamous Massachusetts chemist whose falsified drug testing tainted thousands of cases. But just months after Archibald's release, investigators say he disappeared. The convicted sex offender on the run for more than a year.
We are following breaking news involving more than 100 drug convictions connected to disgraced state chemist Annie Dukin.
Boston, Massachusetts state lab chemist Annie Dukin is arrested and later sentenced to prison after admitting to falsifying evidence in thousands of cases. At the time, Rayvon Archibald was serving a 14-year prison sentence in a federal sex trafficking case involving a child.
This individual has a history of selling women.
The U.S. Marshal Service taking us back. March 2014, New York City. Investigators say Archibald meets a 13-year-old girl and convinces her to travel with him to Baltimore, Maryland. The child, investigators say, unaware Archibald is a pimp and has plans to sell her for sex.
This is a man who targets children.
This is a man who not only targets women, but targets children.
Once in Baltimore, investigators say Archibald began advertising the girl online, exchanging money for sex. Until one night, while Archibald was sleeping, investigators say the girl used a cell phone to call her mom and then police. Investigators quickly moving in on the apartment here in Baltimore's Gwynn Oak community, rescuing the girl and taking Archibald into custody.
Police went back to the apartment where they were able to arrest not only Archibald, but a male accomplice and a female as well.
The evidence against Archibald, investigators say, damning. Authorities claimed for years he had been involved in recruiting, harboring, and transporting females to engage in commercial sex acts. Archibald enters into a plea deal, and a judge later sentences him to 14 years in federal prison. But just a few years into serving that sentence,
They put a huge stain on the legal system.
Annie Dukin and the largest drug lab testing scandal in U.S. history. 3 prior drug convictions the judge had factored in when determining Archibald's sentence were suddenly vacated. The cases, investigators say, involved the state chemist who had now been convicted of falsifying lab test results. In 2022, Archibald was released, serving about half of his original sentence. Archibald, now a free man, registers as a sex offender and settles here in Baltimore.
Initially, he complied with his supervision.
But just months later, while conducting a routine check, investigators say officers realized Archibald is gone.
The probation officer realizes that he's not at this apartment.
A warrant is issued for Archibald's arrest. But fast forward to now, more than a year later, the convicted sex offender is still on the run.
Any idea where he may be?
So Archibald has community ties to Baltimore, New York City, and Boston, Massachusetts. But based upon his failure to comply with his supervision and the fact that he is known to boast about his activities online and to continue to participate in commercial sex acts and sex trafficking, we think it's extremely important to develop these leads in a timely fashion, make sure we do everything we can to take him to custody.
He's a predator.
He is a predator.
Take a good look. Archibald stands at about 5'9" and weighs approximately 130 pounds. Investigators say he does go by the nickname P-Money. Also, sometimes the names Kevon Smith or Kevon Malone. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the U.S. Marshal Service. The tip line number, 1-877-WANTED-2. Or you can contact agents directly at 202-819-5058. Remember, if you recognize any of our fugitives, you can always remain anonymous, and you could earn a reward. I'm Alexa Ashwell, and this is Maryland's Most Wanted.